AIDA64 adds support for Intel Panther Lake CPUs, AVX 512 benchmarks for AMD Ryzen CPUs. The latest version of AIDA64 has dropped and adds support for Intel's next-gen Panther Lake CPUs along with upcoming AMD Zen 5 chips. AIDA64's newest version targets at expanding compatibility scope to next-gen CPU lineups including Intel's Panther Lake. AIDA64 is one of the most popular hardware diagnostic and benchmarking tools designed to monitor the performance of your components on board. However, for us, the application holds immense importance, considering that it often brings in support for architectures that are to be released somewhere in the future, hinting at potential capabilities on some occasions as well. With the newest AIDA64 Extreme 7.35, the developers have brought in several changes, including a new 64-bit checkmate benchmark, along with enablement for next-gen architectures. Major European retailers are witnessing 4 times higher return rates with Intel's 14th gen and 13th gen CPUs. The most interesting addition is the checkmate benchmark, which emphasizes the capabilities of your CPU's branch prediction unit through a multi-threaded approach. The utility leverages the AVX, Advanced Vector Extensions, set, particularly the AVX, AVX2, and AVX 512, to accelerate certain types of calculations. More importantly, Checkmate has brought in support for AMD's newest Ryzen i300 APUs as well, which is certainly impressive since it will allow for more extensive testing of the new mobile platform. New features and improvements. Checkmate benchmark utilizing AVX, AVX2 and AVX 512. AVX 512 accelerated benchmarks for AMD Ryzen i6 APU. Improve support for Intel Panther Lake CPU. GPU details for AMD Granite Ridge. Retired Queen benchmark. What's new since AIDA64 v7.00? Dark mode with 3 dark themes. Revamped user interface with configurable toolbar. Icelandic. Localization. AVX 512 accelerated benchmarks for AMD Ryzen Threadripper 7000 series processors. AVX2 optimized benchmarks for Intel Meteor Lake SoC. Enhanced support for AMD TR5 socket motherboards. Chipset information for AMD TRX50 and WRX90. Improved support for Intel Air Lake and Lunar Lake SoC. NZXT Kraken 2023 and Kraken Elite sensor support. XKillWiki-LCD support. Microsoft Windows 11 2023 update support. Preliminary support for Intel Clearwater Forest and Panther Lake CPU. ACPI 6.5 support. GPU details for AMD Radeon RX 6750 GRE 12GB, Radeon RX 7600 XT. GPU details for NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4000 Super Series. In addition, the mention of Intel Panther Lake here is surprising, given that Intel plans to launch this architecture by 2025, almost a year from now. So, by support here, the software means the inclusion of early CPU IDs since the Panther Lake series is far from CPU development stages for now. Meanwhile, you can look at a recent leak on Panther Lake CPUs, which has disclosed information about the onboard CPU and GPU tiles. It will be interesting to see how AIDA64 helps benchmark AMD's newest APUs. Given that they are close to the official launch, we will certainly see submissions surface.